Today we're talking about one of the internet's favorite minimalist brands, COS. Short for Collection of Style, COS is a high street brand under the H&M group. And despite its fast fashion origins, COS has become a brand that people associate with timeless, elevated basics and high quality materials. But is that actually the case? Well, today we're finding out because I picked up a few pieces from their winter collection to see if they're genuinely built to last or if it's just clever marketing. So grab a cup of coffee because we're taking a closer look at construction, materials, and overall quality to find out if COS is actually worth the hype. Let's start with a piece I was most excited to try, the chunky cashmere crewneck. This one retails for $349 US, and as the name suggests, it's made from 100% cashmere. And right away, I can tell you this sweater does feel substantial. It's not extremely chunky, but it's definitely not a lightweight sweater. And it does have that soft hand feel cashmere is known for. I think most people will consider this sweater to be soft, but I have very sensitive skin and I did experience irritation when wearing this, especially around the neck. And yes, I did wear a t-shirt underneath, but because the neckline is quite high, my skin was still in contact with the fabric and that caused a bit of itching. In terms of sizing, I picked this up in my usual size small and it has that classic COS boxy silhouette. It's wider than it's long though, so if you're tall like me or if you have a longer torso and you want something that's a bit longer, you might consider sizing up. Looking at the construction, I can see this sweater has some nice details like the ribbed trims, the fully fashioned shoulder shaping, and the chunky collar definitely gives it a more elevated modern look. And the internal seams were decent, but I did spot a few places where they could be neater. Now, I'm not seeing any surface peeling, but I have seen reviews online saying that these sweaters tend to peel quite considerably with wear, so it's something to keep in mind. Now, COS doesn't share any information about the cashmere they're using, but they do list their supplier, Artwell Holdings, which is a cashmere specialist. And according to their website, the yarn they use is traceable and sourced from Inner Mongolia, which is an area known for producing high-quality cashmere. And it's also certified by the Good Cashmere Standard, which is great. This is definitely not as much information as I would love to see, but at least we're getting some transparency about where the cashmere is coming from. Putting the itchiness aside, I do think this is a really nice piece. However, I'm curious to see how it holds up over time, because reviewing something brand new is completely different from seeing how it behaves after multiple wears and washes. So if any of you own this sweater, please let us know in the comments how it's been holding up. Next, I have the cropped barrel leg pants, and these retail for $169 US and are made from a blend of recycled polyester and merino wool. And I'll be honest, for that price point, I was expecting 100% wool, so I'm definitely a bit disappointed with that. And also for a winter pant, the fabric is much thinner than I expected, so these are not going to keep you warm in very cold winters. In my opinion, these are better suited for the transitional season. If we take a closer look, we can see that the stitching is very neat and there are no loose threads. You also get functional side and back pockets, and they have added bar tacks, which are these dense lines of stitching that are used to reinforce stress areas like pockets. However, when you flip these pants inside out, the finishing is pretty basic. Most of the seams are overlocked or serged, which is the quickest and cheapest construction method. It's not bad, but it's just pretty basic, and I also spot a few loose threads. The waistband though is much better finished. The seams are fully enclosed and the belt loops are sewn cleanly into the waistband. And they have also added this hidden elastic that lets you tighten the waist slightly if you need to. It's such a small detail, but it really adds so much value in my opinion, and it's something that you don't see a lot of brands doing. Sizing wise, I would say that they run true to size. I got them in my usual size, European 36, and they fit me comfortably. Overall, I think these trousers have some nice design details. However, the high percentage of polyester is what's putting me off. If this were 100% wool or at least 80% wool, I would be much happier recommending them. But at $169, paying for more than half plastic just doesn't feel right. Next up, I have this boiled wool cardigan in this punchy red shade, and this one retails for $139 and it's made from 100% merino wool, and it's also certified by the Responsible Wool Standard. And surprisingly, this one feels a lot less scratchy than the cashmere sweater, which I was not expecting at all. I picked this up in my usual size small, and the fit is very COS, very boxy, slightly cropped, and the sleeves are extremely long. And I have long arms, but the sleeves on this cardigan are almost covering my palms. Because this is boiled wool, the fibers are felted together, and this is what gives this fabric a very dense, almost compact texture. And it's also what allows this sweater to have so much structure. It almost has kind of like a sculptural shape, which is not very common in knitwear. Where it falls short for me is the stitching. As you can see, there are some areas that are a little crooked, and the interior seams aren't the cleanest either. However, not all is bad because there are some nice construction details as well. The ribbing along the hem and the neckline is well executed, and the buttonholes are clean, and the buttons themselves are reinforced with extra yarn around the shank, which helps them stay secure over time. Overall, I think the choice of fabric in this sweater is very interesting. The boiled wool definitely gives this cardigan a more sculptural feel that is not very common in knitwear. However, for the price, I would have loved to see cleaner stitching and neater seams. Finally, I have the tailored PIMA cotton shirt, and this one retails for $99 and it's made from 100% PIMA cotton. And if you are not familiar with PIMA, it uses extra long staple fibers, which means the yarn is smoother, softer, and generally more durable than regular cotton. I got this shirt in my usual size European 36, and it definitely runs large. On the website, they call this a regular fit, but to me, it's definitely oversized. As you can see, I picked this up in the blue striped pattern, and you will notice that the stripes are intentionally mismatched as part of the design. But COS did a nice job matching them where they should align, like across the pockets and along the sleeves. And this is usually a sign of better craftsmanship because it requires more time and often more fabric. Overall, the construction in this shirt is quite good. We can see that the exterior stitching is straight and neat, the buttonholes are neat as well, and the buttons feel securely attached. There are also bar tags reinforcing the pockets and the armhole area, which is great for durability. On the inside, the body seams are fully enclosed. I believe these are called French seams, but I might be wrong. But anyways, it is a really nice detail. The armholes, however, are finished with regular serge seams, which, as I mentioned earlier, is a more cost-effective method. Overall, I'm really impressed with the material and the construction on this shirt. It's definitely a bit too oversized for me personally, but if that's your style, then I think this is a good option. So that wraps up my little COS review. Overall, I feel like COS shines in certain areas like design and silhouette and the occasional standout fabric, but as we saw today, quality really varies from piece to piece. There are some pieces that feel thoughtfully made, while others relied too heavily on synthetics or had construction details that really didn't match the price point. But anyways, if you like this kind of deep dives and would like to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and let me know in the comments which brand you would like me to review next. And that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next one.